Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be unboxing my first ever Hermes Birkin bag and I'll also give you some personal advice on how to possibly score your first quota bag. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and unbox this. Let's do it. Hi! So I took it out of the box and also removed the felt on top so I can give you guys a better look. My Birkin is a black Birkin 30 in toggle leather with yellow gold hardware, as we can see. Birkin sizes range from 25, 30, 35 to 40 centimeters, and there's also some traveling Birkins that are like 50 to 55 centimeters. And usually I think the smaller the Birkin, the harder it is to get and the more popular it is. Birkins also come in a variety of different colors. So I think everyone is probably the most curious about the retail price. And unfortunately, my dumbass misplaced the receipt and I cannot find it right now. I literally have the receipts for all of the other items, but I just don't know where I put the Birkin one. So I can't really give you guys an exact number of what we spent, but I do remember it was around $11,000. I'm not sure if there's another price increase, but December 2022 is when I got it and it was around $11,000. And I got this bag in the Waikiki flagship Hermes store in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm not gonna dig deep into the history of this bag, but as we all know, the Birkin is one of the most sought after tote bags for its exclusivity and also supposed investment value. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the leather. And here's a little fun fact. Hermes makes their bags in several different leathers, and the most common ones that we probably see are the Togo, Epsom, Clements, Swift, and also exotic leathers like crocodile, etc. Togo leather, which is what I have over here, has a matte finish and is one of the most popular leathers for its durability. It's virtually anti-scratch and also pretty water resistant. The leather is also very light and flexible, and some of the defining characteristics of the Togo leather is the irregular pebbled grain and also veining. So when it comes to leather veins, some people love it, some people hate it. I personally don't really have a preference, but I do gear kind of towards like less veining. But I do feel like veins can also give the bag a more unique character. As for my bag, I actually don't have much veins, but there are definitely still some when you see it in person, as we can see like right here. Not sure if the camera can pick it up, but it doesn't really bother me, so we're good. The Birkin comes with a couple of hardwares and they are all usually plated with either gold or palladium. Here is an infographic of the anatomy of a Birkin. I never knew there was so much like terminology on a Birkin, and the bag is simply closed by closing the top flaps over the turnlock and wrapping the buckle straps onto the turnlock closure. The straps and buckle tend to be pretty stiff when you first get the bag, so you need a bit of a grip to close your bag, but they will soften over time. Your Birkin will also come with a lock and a pair of keys, and usually this lock is just attached to this leather lanyard, also called a cloche. And many people like to just, loop it around their handles, something like this. But for me personally, I don't carry the lock with me, and instead I just leave this area empty or put a charm here. There are also 4 base studs on the bottom that helps keep your leather from getting scratched. Moving on to the interior, when you open it up, it's just a big opening with virtually no compartments. There are 2 side pockets on the side, one with a zipper and one without, but literally my things just swim around my bag. I personally like structure and organization, which is why I bought an insert to help organize my items. And I'll talk more about this and also like where I got it in the accessories topic later on. But the size 30 is already pretty spacious and you can literally fit so many things in here. But since the Togo leather is softer, I tend not to overstuff my bag or put too many heavy things in here, as I'm scared that it will change its shape. So now onto the Birkin accessories. So every Birkin comes with a Birkin raincoat. I never used this and I never even took it out of the bag, but essentially this is what it looks like when used. I personally don't like how it looks, and I just don't feel like it's really necessary to even use it, at least for me, especially, I'm living in California and there's barely any rain. And I feel like most of the common leathers like Togo, Epsom, whatever, they're all pretty like water resistant as long as like you don't drench it in water, like I think you'll be fine. But I guess it does make sense to use it for more expensive leathers, for example, like exotics. And the next accessory I have is my bag charm, and I've actually already shown this in my previous Hermes haul video, which I won't go too much in detail about this, but it's the Milo charm in size PM. I also got 2 identical lilies for my handle, and it was already pre-wrapped by my sales associate. And like I've said earlier, I love structure and organization. So I purchased this insert organizer on Amazon, which I will link down in the description box. This is so useful because there's so many different pockets and compartments to put your things in, and there's also a zipper compartment to the side. This is actually pretty sturdy, and I also really love how it kind of acts like a structure holder within the bag. And the last piece of accessory that I want to mention are these stud protectors. And I also got these from Amazon. So I recently read an article saying how like the worn out Birkin look is super popular right now and how it looks tacky if your Birkin looks brand new. Honestly, that's like the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Like literally just let people live a little. Like if they want their bags to look beat up, like let them have it. If they want their Birkin to look brand new, like let them do it as well. Like who cares, you know? But I personally get super attached to my things, and I always try to preserve everything I have as much as I can, regardless of the monetary value, which is why I decided to buy stud protectors. And these are silicone caps, and you know, they're pretty self-explanatory. You pop them on your studs and they help your studs from getting banged up and scratched. So it does the job, and it makes me happy. As much as I love the design, it really is a pain in the ass trying to open and close the bag, so I usually just wear it with the flaps tucked in like this. I rarely close it unless I'm going on a plane or somewhere where I think my things might fall out. The Birkin itself is actually pretty secure, and even with the bag kind of hanging open like this, I never had any issue with things falling out. So I did do some research on how to store your Birkin. Who knew like there's this whole philosophy behind storing your Birkin? But essentially the most important parts are to remember to stuff your bag and keep it away from direct sunlight, and also to put it in a dust bag. You also want to make sure that your bag is stored standing upright and not squished between other bags or other things in your closet, as it might deform the leather over time. One thing that I found interesting is that tucked in to they also suggested not to keep your buckle straps tucked in the pointettes, as it will cause indentations on your strap. And if you want to go out your way and do an extra step, they also recommended to put the felt over before putting away your bag. Okay, so that's a little basic overview of the Birkin 30. And I will provide updates, like maybe like a 6-month update or 1-year update on my thoughts and what I feel about the Birkin. But now we're on to the last part, which is my personal advice and tips and tricks on how I think you can possibly score your first quota bag. So number 1, find a sales that you click with. It might seem kind of awkward to be like jumping sales, but literally keep changing your sales until you find the one that you click with. Just like we don't like everyone we meet, why should we settle with a salesperson that we don't necessarily get along with? So, you know, be polite, be kind, and just make clear of what you want really goes a long way. And secondly, don't expect a Birkin or Kelly on the first try. I know for a fact that it was much easier to get a B or K during the pandemic, since people weren't really going out and people weren't really traveling, shopping, etc. But with things picking up now, and as stupid as it sounds, these bags are super competitive to get. I think starting off with and excuse me if I botch the pronunciation, but starting off with like an Evelyn, a Constance, a Lindy, or even like a Pickleton is a good way to kick off the relationship. Thirdly, try Hermes stores while traveling. I heard a myth that Hermes sales are more generous with travelers because they know you're only here for a short period of time and you're ready to spend the money. While on the other hand, they can easily string along their local clients because they're always there and they can just keep them coming in to spend money on bullshit stuff. Next, be persistent with your sales associate and text them and visit them in store once in a while. Basically, you need to have thick skin. There's nothing wrong or embarrassing with wanting what you want, and if the sale sales get annoyed, it's on them and it's not on you. And when I say persistent, it's not like, texting them, harassing them like every single day, but just kind of like text them every now and then and pop into the store like every other week to keep yourself on their minds. Because I'm sure they have a shit ton of clients, and as much as they don't want to, it's easy for them to forget about us, like even if they try their best not to. So just try your best to keep in touch with them and stay relevant. And the last tip, which is what my sales told me actually, is to shop early on in the year. This is when they have the most supply and variety. Shopping at the end of the year is somewhat more difficult because allocations have already been made and all of the popular models most likely have been sold. I actually told my sales really early on that I wanted a pink Birkin because obviously my favorite color is pink, but I had to shop in December because that's when I was visiting Hawaii. So they didn't really have much selection for me to choose from. But yeah, I'll definitely try to like shop earlier next time to see if like what he said is actually true. But yeah. So this is the end of the video. Thank you so much if you watched this far, and please do give me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed my vibe. And in the meantime, please take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Love ya.
Sometimes I want to